AI technology was used in Furiosa to blend the facial features of Anya Taylor-Joy and the young actress playing young Furiosa for about the first 30% of the film. Now, I've made it very clear that I am very anti-generative AI, but I actually think this is one of the few cases of the way this technology was used correctly. I have a degree in VFX, and admittedly, it's from a while back, but my point is that having studied this medium, I know exactly how tedious parts of it can be. And one of the reasons why people notice bad CGI so frequently is because the industry is full of VFX workers that are overworked because studios want them to overperform and don't have a realistic expectation of what the results should look like. Just to show you an example of what they pulled off here, this is the young actress. I think her name is pronounced Elila Brown, and she's playing Furiosa. This is her very early on in the film. Anya Taylor-Joy said that early on in the film, they mixed in about 30% of Anya's face onto hers, and by the time there is the switch later on in the film, it's about 80%. This girl looked so much like Anya Taylor-Joy that I was genuinely wondering if they got some relative of hers to slide in, because specifically in the lips and the eyes, Anya Taylor-Joy has a very specific lip shape that I was just baffled that they were able to find a girl that looked so much like her. This is what she looked like later in the film, and genuinely, it's crazy how much she looks like Anya Taylor-Joy. And I know to some people, any amount of AI is going to be too much, but first of all, I think the term AI has become too much of an umbrella term, and I think a lot of technologies are being classified as AI, and most people, when they're anti-AI, are specifically talking about generative AI. Anya Taylor-Joy gave an interview about this, and she talked about how, they were consenting, they were very open and honest about this, and having, the recent history of the actor strike and the prevalence of AI in their negotiations, it was on the forefront of everyone's mind in how they could use this product ethically, and I genuinely think that this is a good example of that. Similarly, how in Dune 2, they used AI technology to track the actor's eyes, to overlay the blue for the effect that the spice has on the character's eyes, instead of painstakingly going in and manually tracking each shot. That's something that would take hundreds of thousands of hours probably on a movie that long. And to be clear, animators are not paid by the hour. Animation houses get contracts from studios and they're paid a set amount to finish a project. So if you're thinking, oh, well, that's less work hours for people, it means that VFX workers are sleeping in their offices a lot of the time. They're not getting paid necessarily for overtime almost ever. It kind of reminds me of when motion tracking technology was introduced, like what they did for Avatar behind the scenes, where the people wear those silly suits with all of the tracking nodules on them. A lot of people in the animation industry were worried that that was going to replace animation work. In actuality, it became a totally different thing, especially because animation is stylistically very different than just like literal humanistic movement. But that's beside the point. My point is that technology, when used correctly, can enhance the industry, can create jobs, and can enhance what we're able to do. The problem with generative AI is when it is attempting to completely cut out the human aspect of the creation of art, and that's not at all what happened in this case. Now, admittedly, I wasn't there. I don't know everything about the way the studio works or the amount of people they hired or what they intend to continue to do with this technology. But I think in this instance, it's an application that makes a lot of sense, and I'm not necessarily afraid of it. A lot of the times when I talk about being anti-AI, people call me a Luddite. This group of people, they were weavers, and when a technological advancement was made, they were cut out of their industry, and people think that Luddites are very anti-technology. First of all, the Luddites were royally screwed over. Look into what happened to the Luddites. But also the Luddites were never anti-technology. I think a lot of people in this industry are not necessarily anti-technology. I think a lot of people who work in this field would love to reduce the tedium as long as they are going to still have a job and still be able to, put some humanity into the art that they're creating. I think that technological advancements can be good, but the application is important. And in late stage capitalism, that's where things get messy, because we know that corporations will cut human labor out when it saves them money. That's the problem. And I think in this instance, from everything I can tell, it seems to be a very ethical application of AI technology. To me personally, there's a very important difference between machines that are trained on stolen work to spit out shitty copies and technology that's being used to better working conditions and enhance the realm of what's possible by enhancing human labor and human artistry. On another note, I'm still fundraising to help Abed's family flee Gaza. The link is still in my bio, and I know that it's hard, but donations have slowed considerably, so if you're able to give even a small amount, please do. It helps a ton.